All right, we may be straight on this one right here. Yeah. Let me see what's. Let me get a mic check. 1 2 1 2. I got anybody out there in Cyberland? Do I got anybody out there in Cyberland? Let me see. Let me see. All right. So let me see something, man. Can y'all, somebody come in the chat for me, man? I always do a little mic check real fast. Make sure I'm good before I start running off at the mouth here. Peace, peace, peace. All eyes on media. Can you hear me? Before I get started, brother Sazi, man, what up, man? What you been up to, man? What up? What up, Mike? What's good? We good? All right, all right, all right. KB Street. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, man. Y'all got me. Dope. All right. So, what up? What up, Naima? Today I released a video a couple minutes ago on Jada Pickett Smith and Will Pickett Smith, Will Smith, and just really vibing, man. Peace, peace, Nikki. Just really vibing off these two. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, it's Friday. You know what I mean? The feel good day, the day of Venus. If you don't know what I mean, man, tomorrow, Saturday, you will be participating and recognizing the day of Saturn. Sunday is the day of the sun. Monday, Moon Day, same thing. So without a shadow of a doubt, we live in a cosmic culture. We literally call the days based upon planetary rays. We all know that since we right here, right? So today is that universal Venus day, that feel good day, that beauty day, that day you go get your hair cut, today the sisters go get their hair done and stuff, right? Get the nails done and all that good stuff. It's Friday, it's the weekend, Friday night, just got paid, party pumping, all that good stuff. So last night, you know, I was watching some Jada Pickett Smith stuff, and a couple days ago, Will Smith dropped something on Tidal on Rap Radar podcast and whatnot. And he says something that was like really dope to me. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, basically Jada, and I heard her say the same thing, will always have his support. There's nothing that she could do. We don't even get into this husband and wife thing. We get into this thing called life partners. And he really put an emphasis on there's nothing that she could do. And I mean nothing that she could do to pretty much make him feel like he will not support her and give her love. And I just think that's some deep ass shit, to be honest with you. It's like, okay, all right. Because the first thing that's going to come to your mind is, well, what if she sleeps with another man? You know what I mean? And for her, what if he sleep with another woman and whatnot? Now, the question I raised in the video is, how do we get there individually to a place where you can honestly say you will not be affected by the choices that a person make? I remember one Jada interview. She was like, listen, Will can do whatever he wants to do as long as he can look himself in the mirror, right? And I'm not talking about, and I want to be very clear about this. I'm not talking about you doing something that has the potential to negatively impact the quality of somebody's life. Let me give you a very clear example. I'm not talking about you sleeping around and coming home and giving your partner a issue, because then you will be negatively affecting somebody's life. I'm not talking about that. How do we get to a point in our own growth and development where we can authentically love? Now, I'm going to say that this thing called unconditional love is bullshit, because not that it don't exist, but it's a paradox, as I tried to explain in the earlier video. Everything in this reality has duality. Name one thing that does not have a condition. And a condition, in a sense, would mean, if I strip it all the way down, an element. For a person to get to unconditional love, he had to, or he or she had to condition themselves to get to that particular plateau of consciousness. So now their current condition is that of unconditional love. And that's why I gave the analogy in the video of a coin. It's heads and tails at the same time, irregardless to the side that you see. We're looking at a coin. Don't get caught up in the sides. The coin is a coin. You fall for the trick of duality. And so I remember I did a webinar, maybe I'll throw it back this year, called The Cosmic Illusion. And really understanding that the place that we live in should tell you that you cannot believe what you see with the naked eye. And this is like, the observation of that alone renders so much wisdom that should be applied to your understanding of this place that I can be speechless. The sun does not rise, nor does it set, nor is it above your head at 12 noon the way it looks, because it's supposed to be on average of about 93 million miles in front of you at all times. The earth is traveling around the sun. But in our reality, it looked like that thing come and it's up above our head. The moon is the most illest of them all. Right now, the moon is in crescent stages, going to more of the first quarter stages, about to work herself up to a half a moon. You can only see the right side of the moon right now. You see an outline of the left side, but the point is, you know good and well the physical moon is not changing shapes and size. But there's an illusion that's being cast that make it look like the right side is becoming slowly. You see the right side and the left side is slowly starting to fill in. Then we get to the full moon. You see the whole thing. And then you start to see the right side of the moon after the full moon starts to disappear, and we can only see the left side. So we go through these things, or what we're observing, we go through these phases of illusion. You cannot believe what you see with the naked eye in your reality. That's just a fact. So the point is, unconditional has a condition. It do. And that condition is to be determined based upon your understanding of your own experiences. Trust me. I'm telling you. Because you can't have one without the other. This is why I rock with the Chinese so hard. They're just like yin yang. Leave it alone. Shut up. Yin yang. You can go before that and get to the three primordial ones. And before that, which is really light, the three primordial ones. I did a video here talking about the Migos are the three primordial ones, manifest. Okay. And so it's talking about the three primary colors that make up everything in creation. Okay. And then before that, it's just the infinite innocence, which is everything. It's just different degrees of the infinite being. Okay. So anyway, what is cosmic love. I want to say that everybody, I think we should have goals in all areas of life. The zodiac is really your real, um, it's your real school. What I love about the Western world is it dropped clues for us where they gave us elementary school, element, fire, air, earth, and water. The elements are the basic building blocks of all cosmic forces. Yes. So out of 12 zodiac signs, 3 of them gonna be fire, 3 of them gonna be air, 3 of them gonna be water. The remaining 3 is gonna be earth. That sums up all 12. So all 12 can be condensed down to their respective element. This is why I love the Hebrew language, because in their 22 letters of the alphabet, 3 letters are considered the mother letters. Aleph, Mem, Shin, which corresponds to air, fire, and water. Mem being water, Shin being fire, Aleph being air. Peace, Loki. So they call that, and then see those 3 mother letters are really the 3 primary light codes. Again, the 3 primary colors in color theory. The 3, which is the Tao, which you get when you get back to the Tao, you get to this whole the 3 pure ones in the Eastern philosophy, which now is manifest through hip hop through the Migos. And so my point is, again, all right, what is cosmic love? What is this? What is this dance that we do with one another? What is it? Because I know from studying this thing, everything is about energy. I'm like an energy fanatic, man. Like seriously. And it's so funny because it's coming out when you listen to interviews. Like, shout out to Karen Civil. You know, she's like, listen, I ain't messing with nobody. Whoever gave me negative energy, keep that same energy. I'm doing an energy check. That's what she said on her latest interview at the Breakfast Club, I think it was. I'm doing an energy check. Keep the same energy. So everybody talks about it, rightfully so, because consciousness is elevating in the Aquarian age. So now you got to learn how to classify it. Okay. So what is cosmic love is today's topic. Cosmic love, your love perceptions is based upon planetary's locations when you were born. That's a fact. So when I just did this Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith story, you're going to see an overwhelming, like 5 freaking planets, man. That's 50% of the solar system that we count. You're going to see an overwhelming dab. I don't know, man. Sometimes I just like to ramble, but I can't stay past 2 hours because I got some real estate shopping that I need to be doing and lining my realtor up. So give me about an hour, 2 tops. I don't know. But the forces can be condensed, and when you look at are what I call isolated, and then when you look at Will and Jada, you're going to see an overwhelming abundance of energy in the late Leo portion of the sky and early Virgo portion of the sky. This is a fact. Fact. What up, Sarah? See, they're born 3 years apart in 1 week. All right. Well, technically, 3 weeks short of 3 years. All right. 1 week short of 3 years, rather. So about 3 years apart. Okay. And when you understand the movement of planetary bodies, like Jupiter, for example, when Will was born, Jupiter is in one sign for a year. So about 3 years later, when Jada is born, Jupiter is about 90 degrees or 3 zodiac signs over. But yet Jada was born with the moon there. And the moon is only there for a day, 2.5 days in the same constellation to be technical. But she was born with the moon there. So it's a lot of energy in the same locale, same location in space. One of my favorite markers in all of this is when a man has the sun in the same constellation, very, very close, or really the same degree to where a woman has Venus at, if I'm dealing with a heterosexual relationship. And again, when I say man and woman, I'm talking energy. So if you same sex, just it don't matter. It's energy. Okay. When this happens, there is a instant magnification There's a strong magnetic pull to one another. Hence the saying, I guess the stars were aligned. We got to really understand, like, who came up with that? Where did that come from? And why do deep down in our psyche we use that example when the stars align to be as if it is the divine truth. That's when we use it, when the stars were aligned, as if God aligned your stars, and rightfully so. If that's the case, then shit, it's only a matter because everything rotates. It's just a matter of looking at it and say, oh, this was here. What a coincidence. I have this here. What a coincidence. This equals this. Beauty, Venus, female, Jada, Smith, or Will, son, Apollo, masculine figure, male and female come together. Let's get married. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful story. And so you're now in a place where you can measure, here's the key, you can measure your potential outcomes with people. I don't care the nature of the relationship. It don't have to be lovey-dovey personal. It can be business. It can be a kid, a child of yours. It don't matter. Energy is energy. And you can now classify energy. So when I say energy, let me give you some examples because I want you to do a homework assignment. I think if y'all with me, y'all should have did the last homework assignment, which is learning how to quantify the planets when you were born. So all of you would know where the 10 energies are at. So if I have Venus and Aries, I do. Aries is fire. I'm put 1 in fire. Jupiter's in Taurus, that's earth. I'm put that in earth. Right? I can quantify all of my planets inside of its proper element. If you go to astro.com, it's free. You can set up an account, put 100 people in there. It does this for you on the bottom right hand side of the chart. It's going to class a box that classifies these 7 things. 3 across is CFM and 4 down is fire, air, earth, and water. And you want to pay attention to the planets inside of the respective elements of fire, air, earth, and water, and simply count them up and see what you have, see where your cosmic balance is. Like me, I'm extreme. Because out of 10 planets that we count, I'm like, shit, what? 3 in fire, 5 in air. So that gives 2 left, 1 in earth, 1 in water. So I'm majority air than fire. And those 2 happen to go together. So now this gives another dynamic of what we can look at, because these 2 go together. Fire and air are like, without oxygen, fire don't exist, right? That's why I'm saying this whole thing is an elemental thing. It's not the zodiacal thing could be reduced down to an elemental thing. And that's what you want to do. You want to bring everything back to source energy itself. Because the further you go out, 1 becomes 2, then 2 becomes 3, then 3 gets to 4. And then you just keep going further and further out. And what you want to do is learn how to streamline and come back to your center self, the indwelling God within you that is a composure or a mixture of all of the energies. Okay. Hey, peace. All right. That's cool. That's what's up. All right. And so you can quantify. And then these things, these elements represent mental activity without a shadow of a doubt. Mental activity. So fire becomes hyper creative, energetic. If you have students and you have a hyper table, hyper kids, and then you have people who are more earthbound and waterbound and stuff where that agitate them. So fire people are a little bit more creative, energetic, on the go. Air is kind of very similar because remember, air matches fire. It's ideas, communication, invisible, that air. So it needs that elusive nature on the go, like the wind. So air and fire would be a good combination at the table. And earth and water, you have to water plants. Do you like you got to study everything. You study like water cleanses the flesh. You can't just take a rag and wipe yourself and be clean. You have to add water, the complementary element to the flesh to clean yourself. So water and earth tends to go. So earth is more practical, more stable, more on the plane of material, finances, gains. Water is more intuitive, more sensitive, more inspirational, more musical, perhaps, more psychic, even. Right. And so once you condense these energies down, total them up and see where's your predominant energy. Where is the one that you may even lack in? Because that lack could come up as um it can come up as a unstable force in your life. People who may lack earth energy could have a hard time earning money or could have a hard time being grounded and find themselves moving all over the place. They have a hard time staying still in one physical location. Life tends to blow them all over the place in a sense because they may lack stability in the earth element. This is a fact. So now having someone on your team or around you that brings that complement may be necessary because that's not necessarily your strong suit. You see what I'm saying? So you can do that little assignment for yourself because these things represent things. And then there's another mode of energy that I like to look at, which we just identify elemental energy within love. Now you have to get into another dynamic that deals with what I call the four channels of energy. And it's sort of like the Chinese philosophy of yin to yin. Cosmically speaking, I can see this when I'm comparing two people. So it goes, let's just say her Venus in comparison to his Venus are in the same location. They just happen to be born with Venus in the same location. His female to her female, because Venus is definitely a female quality. If you study keywords of Venus, you're going to see it's the goddess. You're going to see that it's beauty. You're going to see it's feminine, sugar and spice, right? So her female to his female. Then channel 2 I call the male channel. Her male to his male. Will and Jada got that because they were born 7 days apart from each other. So the sun is pretty much in the same region of space. See, now pay attention. Watch this. This is why you can't say, well, you have to understand that if somebody say Libra, Will Smith, Virgo, Jada, they don't get along. That's the air and the earth sign. That's a general, just a general statement. But when you look at the fine print, you say, whoa, hold on. They're only 7 days apart. So the sun is in the same region. Plus, Jada got Venus, the female portion of what she's looking in a relationship, because Venus rules Libra. What you're looking for in a relationship is right at the shoulder of the Virgin, exactly where Will Smith has the sun when he was born, same location. So what she's looking in a relationship is actually this masculine principle, which is him. So that general rule that you just said, Virgo and Libra don't go, you can't say that in totality. Just understand you're using a general consensus. Very important to understand that. You have to say that. It's just general. You have to look at the fine print. Okay. So now the female channel, Venus to Venus, then male to male, since they got the sun about 7 degrees apart, because they're 7 days apart, the sun is in the same region of space. So this could be a male to male energy. This could be a good thing. Sometimes this could be a bad thing. This is where consciousness comes in at, because your mind determines what the outcome is going to be based upon your perception of the incoming stimuli, based upon your perception of the event. This is how, when they say, remember, I started off with, how can you get to this place of unconditional love? I love you no matter what. That means my perception of the things that you do, that don't bother me. I freed myself from the things. Will said it so eloquently on that Rap Radar podcast. Basically, I'm a paraphrase, but I'm freeing myself from the false ideas and concepts that I have for my own ego, which you must conform to please me, for me to be okay with you. The biggest battle is always going to be within your own perception. Love, for the most part, especially in the Western Hemisphere, I only love you because you do something for me that I like a whole lot. And I'm going to call it love since I like it a whole lot. Let's be very real. It has a condition attached to it. So, anyway, the masculine principle. Then you can flip flop it. It's her female to his male. We saw that with her Venus to his sun. And then it could be role reversal. It could be, what if it was her sun to his Venus? It's the four ways. Now, see, these things mean something because a yin, channel one, a yin relationship, a feminine relationship based off energy, cosmic energy. Jay and Beyonce got a lot of this. It's soft. It's walks in the park, meditation. It's more what I would call spiritual, intuitive. Picnics. It's soft. Yang is, yeah, like Yang is like, yo, let's ride bikes, let's work out, let's sweat. It's energy. Let's go. This turns destructive if you don't have a physical outlet. This is the dog that you never walk that tears up the house because it got too much energy. Then it's a balance of the two. Her female to his male. Then it's a role reversal. And a lot of y'all can relate, especially women can relate to the role reversal where it's like, I work my butt off and he stay home and he plays the game. That's a negative role reversal where you feel like as a man, he's not stepping up to the plate to help you and match you. It's not your idea of a man. But here's the kicker. You do not know that you are attracted to negative energy. You don't know it. The cosmic players involved are situated at a negative position in space from one another, that it is calling forth an attraction. You have to understand, when you look at a battery terminal, electricity has a positive pole and a negative pole. This later plays out into gender, male, female. This right now, this ain't got nothing to do with attitudes and what we call good energy and bad energy. Not right now, not on this plane that I'm talking about. It manifests itself through polarities, then it's manifesting itself through gender. Okay. Now, when we get in human form with genders, there is this part that comes online and says, okay, this is good energy, this is bad energy. You don't know that negativity has magnetic attraction. Look at the battery. It shows you right there that light itself, which you and I are at the core, you're a light being. When you get up out of here, man, the body is only animated by light. I always say it. The paramedic come, you unconscious, you ain't got no heartbeat, they're gonna hit you with the shock paddles. Why? Because they have to stimulate the rod node in the heart to generate a heartbeat, a pulse, electric, boogie, woogie, woogie. That's you. You are the electric slide. You are light. Light has two poles that it manifests itself on. Just because I'm male doesn't mean I don't have female cosmic qualities and biological qualities from my mother. I get into this when I talk about the dormant female duck inside of males, and then vice versa for females. The dormant male duck that's inside of her. This is true. You have to learn to be amazed. That's what I'm saying about this duality thing is an illusion. You have to learn to be amazed that as an embryo, being with the female gland that could later turn into fallopian tubes at week 10. And as a male, you live with the Wolffian duct that will later turn into testicles at week 10 if you're going to develop as male. In embryogenesis, the study of embryos, study this yourself. You live as a dual being for a good solid month in the womb before you make a decision. Now, here's a question. I disagree with science that the father or female, I'm not buying that one either, determines the sex. Because if that's the case, why would you have to have the other duck that you're going to turn off and go dormant? Why don't you just be that from the gate? Okay. Just a question, one of the mind. So these forces of yin yang are inside of you, and they represent the expression of energy. Now, again, you have the soothing feminine component, then you have the energetic outgoing masculine component. There's a way now that you need to understand what channel of energy do you represent. Then as a relationship, represent. You need to know that. I think that's very important to know. Okay. Because now the physical activities that you do could be mirrored behind this, whether it's outgoing and riding bikes and you know what I mean, or whether it's more soft meditative prayer type. And then when you back it up and go to the other energy mode of elements, how to bring those elements inside of the house that caters to don't matter. Earth is earth. Whether you're deficient or too much, excessive, then maybe plants could do it. It starts to liven you up, starts to get you in tune. That's a whole nother science on being able to keep them to stay alive and have a bunch of them. So maybe plant starts to bring in that earth energy. Grounding, walking barefooted in the grass does something to the sole of the feet and literally grounds you. Hugging a tree is very real. We talk about this in one of my classes because the tree energy takes in your poison called carbon dioxide and then it gives off oxygen called your air. You see, so you have a reciprocal ship with trees. So hugging trees is a-okay because without them, we die. Okay. So then the earth energy is sufficient. The air energy is purification, aromatherapy. That's simple. Incense, oils, things that purify air, communication. Fire energy could be a fire pot, a fireplace, right? Water energy. To know what your predominant element are, or just to know that you are in all of the elements. See, what's on the tarot card, that one tarot card, the who is that? The Magician, where he got all of the elements. Let me Google that. Google image on another window. Look at the Magician tarot card. Let me see. The Magician tarot card. Look at the imagery that's taking place. Right? He got a coin, which is earth, money. He got a cup. A cup holds the water. He got a sword, which a sword is the air. Right? Communication. And then you got a wand. The wand was the wand was like you zap somebody with it. That's more of the fire element. So the true magician, look at this. The true magician of life understands how to infuse and incorporate all of the elemental energies, all of them, because they're all inside of you anyway. That's the truth. They're all inside of you anyway, because you're dealing with medical astrology, known as Arathro mathematics. Wiki, it's on Wiki. Aries is your head, Taurus is your throat, and Gemini is your lungs, and all that good stuff, right? Cancer, stomach, and breast. And I ain't even getting into bodily systems because each sign actually rules a system as well. Respiratory system, air system could be Gemini, nervous system could be Aquarius, lymphatic system could be Pisces. You can just go on and on and on. Central nervous system could be Leo because that's the spine, right? And heart in a sense. So, digestive system could be Virgo, right? And you can just keep on going through this, man. This is a science, seriously. So all of the systems are governed by the signs. All of the bodily organs are governed by a sign. So you're all of them anyway. But there are certain ones that you're going to probably vibe with a little bit more. But this is why I believe that if you know this, because anything else, if you're unconscious, you're banking on luck. And I just think that's dangerous when you could know. You know what I mean? So what you really want to do is just get to this place of conscious recognition and understanding what it is, how to activate, how to live within that flow. How to, like I said earlier, bring the energy in and become the magical magicians that we all are. Okay. So what is cosmic love, man? It's what you define it to be. That's the only thing it can be. All right. So I'll take a few questions if you have them. I saw somebody asked something earlier about like some type of square thing or something. That's very challenging, man. You can be born with these squares. Like if you type in Steve Jobs' birthday on Astro, he has something called like he got a grand cross. Imagine a square. A square got 4 corners. There's a planet at each corner. And then draw an X from diagonally from the bottom left corner to the top right corner and vice versa on the other side. So these planets square each other and then they're in opposition to each other at the same time. That's a lot of friction. Well, Steve Jobs was born with that. Charles Manson was born with it too. So now that's what I'm saying. What determines the twin paradox that I call the twin paradox in astrology is I know because I got twins all in my family. I had twin daughters, one on the other side and one here. So I know that the destiny to a degree of the twins or anybody is based upon consciousness. This is why twins can have different amount of children, different careers, and then sometimes they could be identical. Because they may be exercising this aspect of their life that they feel more easier and identify with for their own soul's evolution. And then this person may be identifying something opposite for their own soul's evolution. So thus the twins have different outcomes, but yet they look the same. That's why in the previous video, I said the first thing that the Bible hit you with was Cain and Abel. You have to understand the trick of duality. It looks the same twin, but yet there's 2 totally outputs. Cain is evil, Abel got caught slipping. Yeah, wants you to understand the twin paradox. There's a couple twins in that book. Jacob robs Esau of the birthright and all that stuff. This twin complex that takes place. Okay. All right. Determines where you're going to play the game at. It's no different than saying, yo, you got a lucky alignment, man. You can go out and you can hit the lottery. You don't have to go out and play nothing. It don't mean that it wasn't there. It don't mean that you couldn't have won. You have to make a choice. So if we have planetary influences, they're just making a suggestion. Jupiter and Taurus in the 11th house is a suggestion that, whoa, you can get big Jupiter, success, abundance, money, Taurus, with technology or groups of people, 11th house. But I don't have to enact any of that. I could be so focused on something totally different in my life and totally don't even touch that principle and never see it. It's just a suggestion. You have to make the conscious choice. All right. So what if you're on the cusp of fire and water, Aries and Pisces? That's Grant Cardone. If you want to, Grant is, I'm gonna do a video on him, and this is the answer. OG Bruce Lee. If you're on the cusp, you just on the cusp, man. See, here's the thing. What I love about the science: either you in or you out. Either you 29 degrees, 59 minutes, 59 seconds, Pisces, because literally, let's just hypothetically say, in 1 minute from now, everything, the sun is going to be at 0 degrees, 0 seconds, 0 minutes of Aries. This is why the time of birth is important, because you're going to either be on this side or that side. And I don't care if you 1 minute to this side, you're really representing the extreme side of what you are. 29 degrees Pisces. That's what it is. So, yeah, is it easy for you to be a blend? Yes, because remember, all of the energy is inside of you anyway, from head to toe. It's all in you anyway. So, Grant, for example, last day of Pisces, 29 degrees. Usually when you're on the cusp and you're 29 degrees, that's we call that critical. I call it critical because it's the last degree of a sign. So that to me represents you're supposed to be the master of that frequency, that zodiac sign, because you're the last dragon. You're the last one. So you really supposed to know that. And that's a whole nother science. Are you a baby in these degrees? 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, 4? Or are you higher? Or are you up in the higher degrees, showing that you have evolved within this frequency of that sign? And so Grant, critical Pisces, 29 degrees Pisces, the negative side is drugs and alcohol. He'll tell you he was addicted to drugs. Big time. Stupid addicted to drugs, right? But Mercury, since it travels close to the sun, was up in the previous sign, which is Aries, which is that fire that you feel from Grant Cardone, that impulsiveness that you feel from Cardone. So he's a typical blend of that cusp energy, critical Pisces, negative aspect, drugs and alcohol, and then the impulsiveness. Look at Hitler. Hitler is another classic example. When's Hitler's birthday? Open up another window and look up Hitler's birthday, because he on the cusp, April the 20th. Hitler is on the cusp of Aries and Taurus. He had the world inside of a war. Literally, all countries were at war because of the last degree of this energy right here. That's what 29 Aries looks like, man. So you can understand what this thing is. It's extreme. It seems like it could be playing out the extreme of the negative side of that, but of course, consciousness dictates what you're gonna do, man. All right. So Capricorn women, Cancer man combination, please, from KB. Capricorn woman, Cancer man. I like it. It's opposition on the Breakfast Club. This is a blend. This is Angela Yee is a Capricorn female, and then she sits next to Charlemagne the God, the masculine Cancer. So that's what it really looks like. If you really want to know what it looks like that in our hip hop expression. This is Hip Hop Astrology TV, so I'm gonna show you. It's Charlemagne and Angela Yee. They're opposite one another, and the opposition can be a conflict, but it's supposed to be a completion. This is what you really, really, really have to understand. You should draw a circle or look at a wall clock and then understand that the sign opposite you, half that circle, cut it in half. Let's just do a regular wall clock exercise. Let's draw a line between 12 and 6. So you got the right side and you got the left side. And then let's draw another line between 3 and 9. So we got the top half and the bottom half. The sign that is opposite you, okay, they represent the portion of the solar system that you can't see. Because when you were born, you're completely on the other side. So they represent the completion of your will, because your whole reality is a circular reality anyway. How do you see? Circular eyes. How do you hear? Circular ear holes. How do you breathe? Circular nostrils. How do you go around the sun? In a circle, 365 days. How do your day rotate? In a circle, 24 hours. What do you celebrate? Birthdays, anniversaries, fixed day points. So your whole reality is a circle. The person opposite you is supposed to bring the other half. Supposed to. Oftentimes this is rough because you don't see reality the same. Because they from the other side. This is cosmic gangbang shit. They're on the other side. I was having this conversation with you. I don't like people on the other side like that. I'm not going on that side. And the problem with the square, in this case, if you the Capricorn and Cancer, the problem with the square, Aries and Capricorn, look at the wall clock. Let's pay attention to this. Again, let's say everybody is born at 12 o'clock, right? What happens is when you get to the square, 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, it don't matter. We all at 12. When we get to 3 or 9, this person is starting to set themselves up the other side of the solar system. Because we're going to cut the solar system in half from 9 to 3, and everybody is at 12 with me. So we all at 12 o'clock. We're going to cut it in half, this wall clock in half, from 9 to 3 o'clock. When you get to 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock, or you meet your square is fronting. They're the fence. They are on the other side. Because once you get past them, you on the other side of the cosmos. This is why they're irking as hell to you. They square you. They come at you sideways because they really represent the gateway to the other side. Okay? You got to understand this, man. And so moon energy, Saturn is the old man, Capricorn energy, daddy. So without mommy and daddy, we don't come into this reality. It's really a divine balance of parental energies that can work. The thing is, though, a female Capricorn may be more ambition and the male Cancer may be more supportive and nurturing. That's fine if that's his energy and that's the role. But see, now what happens is, what is the level of consciousness of the people that's involved? Because if you are the Keisha Kayor type of female Capricorn that's ambitious and you're a go-getter, then how does he feel about that? Does he feel insecure about that? Or does he offer those Cancer nurturing, loving qualities because the energy between y'all was good? If he feels some type of way, it's because, telling you, the energy is not as bad. It's a slight role reversal with those signs because Cancer is ruled by the moon, which is a feminine emotion, and that's a man that's occupying that energy. Jim Jones, Cancer, crying on TV. Nothing wrong with it. I just want to show you the expression of how easily this stuff manifests itself in front of our eyes. Okay. The cusp means something. I mean, it's a gateway. It could be a blend of the two. But everything is a cusp because everything is inside of you, if we can understand that. Okay. Sun, Cap, Taurus, Moon, reach the great. That's big money, man. Capricorn Sun is the last earth sign. Capricorn success, the goat, the mountaintop. The moon in Taurus is considered exalted at 3 degrees. Taurus, money moon. That's, you know what I mean? That's money. That also shows me that your mom and dad definitely was in a great relationship with one another at the time of your conception. Oh yeah, you can see parental karma inside of this stuff. All right. So anybody got anything else? I'm gonna get busy, man. I gotta get over to some. Gotta switch gears and put my real estate hat on. Okay, I just got a feedback. Let me do something real fast. So y'all got a question? Shoot it to me. You can shoot it to me. Man, I gotta answer that question later. All right. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, Jimmy, man. Gemini crazy, man. Gemini. Twins, man. The twins. So if you got one, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Y'all got it in the chat, man. I just wanted to jump on this thing real fast. I put a new video up. I don't know if y'all seen it yet. You probably didn't because I came right behind it with the live. Watch the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith love connection, man. For real. It's dope. Man, that's a good one, man. So the eclipse is hitting the nodes. Man, you know, I love the nodes, man. They're my favorite. They're like little cherries on top of whipped cream, right? And it's so dope because it's a hypothetical point. It ain't even real. It ain't even like it's a cosmic body. It's a hypothetical points, but these hypothetical points are freaking real. That's the amazing thing about this whole science. Astrology is by far the most quantum science you ever gonna get into. This shit is pure a quantum enigma, literally. So an eclipse hitting the node, man, you know, it's just gonna be it's time to get busy. If it's hitting the north node, you know, see the north node is these nodes are literally, especially the north, your soul's mission. That ain't no walk in the park, man. That denotes that, hey, you're here to specifically learn this as the main portion of your soul's evolution. Real talk. So now when it gets hit with an eclipse, eclipses is the knockout because that's what's happening. Eclipse, something is covering something up. So now it's about to be like, boom, I'm about to hit this. South node, then it's like, oh, okay, well, are you caught in the cycle of the past? Because the South node is the past. Are you caught in the cycle of the past? Do you not want to relinquish the cycle of the past so you can grow into the North node, which you're here to do? So all triggers to a degree are the same. You have to activate the principle at hand. So I don't care if it's Mars on the North node. I don't care if it's the sun on the North node. North node equals North node, irregardless to what's hitting it. The things that's hitting it could give me a description of how or what is about to come into my life to serve as the trigger. But ultimately, I must activate and do the work. So only thing I need to do is be true to the game. True to the North node. North node development. Develop it. Grow into it, man. How do I master my moon opposed Saturn? Is this learning to open up more? Moon opposed Saturn. Here's a question, Reese. Usually that is going to be some type of contention that's there from a parent. That's parental karma. So I usually ask a person, if you had to grade the relationship between your mother or father, how would you grade it? And if there's some room for improvement, then improve it, because the name of the game, now this could be physically, they can be dead, and this can be mentally. You don't have to physically improve the relationship. There's something that you can do mentally to rearrange how your brain has stored the negative memory with the parent. You got to do the Tina Marie. Don't you know, if your life is full of sin, what you say, if your life is full of sin, don't you know when you die, you'll come back again? I thank God, I ain't coming back no more. And that deja vu shit. You cannot die with unresolved, suppressed Saturn, emotional moon. You cannot die with unresolved, suppressed issues. Because the way the brain works is, and DNA works, is this is a problem. Ultimately, at the core, I am God, infinite intelligence, and I am here to overcome problems. So when you look at the process of what science call evolution in any form, from mineral, animal to human kingdoms, okay? God wants to figure out all things. This infinite intelligence of life wants to express everything. It wants the physically impossible bumblebee to be able to fly. It wants a freaking giraffe to have a long neck. It wants to have all of these experiences. So if you die with something that's unresolved, that's really a desire. Because raise your hand if you want to have unresolved issues. You don't. But since it's unresolved and your brain catalogs it as an unresolved issue, you're going to have to come back and resolve the shit. Now, this gets dangerous because in the Western world, we're not up on spiritual sciences of reincarnation and stuff like that. So, therefore, our enlightenment comes through jail in forms of abusive patterns that we don't like. Negative things produce great things. You got to be Detroit Red before you become Malcolm X. And that's dangerous in the Western world. So to answer that question, bro, you have to look at the nature of your relationships with the parent, mentally do the work, and or physically do it as well. If there's an issue that is going on right there that don't get the best of grades. On the other side, Saturn opposed Moon. Um, this is where the rulers come in at. Like for me, I got that. I got Saturn opposed to Moon. I got Saturn rules my relationships. The Moon rules my finances. So then I may want to take a look into those two areas right there. Or what did mom and dad do about relationship and finances and whatnot? Do I carry some of that? You know what I mean? So there's ways to look at it, man. All right. What else y'all got for me? Shiggy dance Drake's feelings mind control. Man, I heard Drake. What the rumor is, Drake gave him a $250,000. Should have. My Venus and Cat. I mean, Venus placement is all about love, man. It's all about beauty. It's what you, especially as a man, it's what you seeking inside of a female companion. The Venus location for men is what he's seeking in feminine companion. Again, if you homosexual, I'm just talking energy. So if you like women, go look at Venus. If you like men, go look at Sun and Mars. All right, those two primary players can show you some insight. So Venus and Cap is the success factor. The the GOAT, you know what I mean? The career orientated one, public success, fame. So everybody, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to do like the zodiac archetypes, right? I think with Venus and Capricorn is, Mike, I'm gonna have to ask you this. Do you admire Kayor, Keisha Kayor? Because she's a Capricorn. So if you got Venus and Cap, that's saying, okay, your perception will be right there. So then I think you got to ask yourself that question. So it could be women who you deem to be very successful on these shit, business orientated type of thing. That's not necessarily emotional, lovey dovey type of feel. That's more your success has something to do with money. Capricorn's career. Usually career has something to do with money. So there's some symmetry that's going on right here. You see what I'm saying? And so Venus over there is all about that, man. So same signs can work. It's sometimes, you know, you gotta look at it in totality, but in the general question, I mean, it's cool. When they don't, it's too much ego expression because the sun, both people are saying the same thing, and it's like there's no difference. So it's the ultimate test of the mirror. You think you want somebody that's the same, but then when it's the same sign and it's like too much the same, so then you start repelling. This is where consciousness come in at. I don't care. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith are the same sign. Although they're different sun signs, they're only 7 days apart. So therefore, the sun was in the same region of space. So when I say same sign, they're not the same zodiac sign per se, but energetically speaking, the sun is in the same area of space. So maybe it's not, you know, it's, you know, and when I look at the individual consciousness, they purposely have conversations about ego and understanding a false sense of consciousness. So therefore, your own individual level of awareness gets to dictate what's going to be. So it works. All of them can work. They can all define the odds. If you remember, I said go to the magician card on the tarot. All of the elements are laid there, so they all can define the odds. You dig? They say, is your birth chart your life book? Yeah, yeah, because space is intelligent, and where those planets were at when you were born, they mark something and they mean something, and people come in your life and they be having planets right in those same spots or opposite those spots, and they're going to trigger a certain aspect of yourself, right? So I got the self-activation workbook as a workbook I put together years ago, man. The last section of the book, and this section right here called, what is it? That's the house review. Your planets. You got to answer questions about yourself, man. You know, like this is important to know, man. Where's it at? Hey, they didn't format this right when I look at it. This ain't supposed to be house review right here. This is supposed to be, oh, here it is. Hold on. The very last section right here, if y'all can see that. Your planets and houses. All right. So this section is deep. So it's going to ask you, what degree is your, what did it say? What degree in zodiac sign is your moon? What degree in zodiac sign is your sun? So on the following pages, looking at your chart, write a sentence and underline the keywords for the planets in the zodiac sign those planets are in. Example, Saturn and Leo. I am successful. You got to underline the keyword. I am successful, which I put in parentheses, Saturn, when I am being creative, keyword for Leo. And I can say, even add on to that, what if I'm being creative with my children? Because Leo is children as well. So if I want to use that as an example, I can. Mercury and Aquarius. I communicates a keyword for Mercury, best with friends, which is Aquarius, and groups, which is Aquarius, of people when we take short trips, right? So I do these short trips 3 times a year. Mercury rules short trips. So the goal is for you to start writing sentences about yourself, okay? And by you underlining the keywords for all of the planets based where they were born. I mean, where they were at when you were born, man. So you go through the planets, because the planets serve as activating balls of energy, man. That's all they are. Just little activating balls of energy. Let me see what's on the end. And then it's going to ask you some questions. What house has the most planets? Explain in astrological terms what these planets mean in this house. What is the degree of your ascendant? What is the degree of your descendant? Explain the zodiac sign that rules your descendant, as this is who you are in relationships. Uh-oh. So you asking about relationships. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You may be like, oh, okay, I'm an Aquarius. What's up with me in relationships? What about the sign that is on the 7th house when you were born actually says this is how you operate inside of relationships, not that you're an Aquarius. This is what I'm saying. It gets a little scattered here. You see what I'm saying? And so the 7th house rulership really denotes your psychology inside of relationships and not necessarily your zodiac sign. But you are your sign and you're that too. So here come the oxymoron. You have to learn how to blend both of them. So I'm an Aquarius. I'm giving you a real life example. Capricorn is on my 7th house. So Capricorn is again, we've been talking about Cap a lot. So Cap is that same thing. It's the GOAT. It's just that hard work. I think I thrive off of work more, right? And I'm that generation that got Saturn and Leo, so I don't think I'm romantic at all. I think I probably suck. Probably suck in romance, don't I? I suck in romance? Tell the truth. Do I suck in romance? Come on, say something here. Do I suck at romance? Tell the truth. Not with everybody else. You hear that? Oh shit! Shots fired. We about to get. Oh, I know how to romance everybody else. Did you just say that? What? So what you saying? What you trying to say? I'm an Aquarian, huh? So all right. So y'all see she throwing shots at me over here, right? And so I don't think I'm romantic. I think I suck at romance, right? Into a degree, right? So again, you'll be able to look at your descendant, 7th house, and then it start to give you some insight. So it's interesting because Capricorn is responsible, right? So then maybe in relationships, I'm gonna be quote unquote maybe the responsible one. Capricorn is older, so maybe I'm the older person, right? I grew up seeing the Flintstone dynamic. That was my favorite cartoon. My grandparents, my dad parents were together for over 50 years to death did them part. And I never seen my grandmother drive a car. Like never, ever. That was like, I know she couldn't even do it, right? Because she's from the cotton picking South. Don't mean you can't drive a car, but she's from the cotton picking South of Tennessee. So they had like, I don't know, 5 children in a 3-bedroom little house and whatnot. So, you know, that lifestyle in that era was she was a homemaker. So to me, that was my first functioning relationship, a Flintstone. He go out and make it, she bake it. So I carry that energy with me in a sense, right? See, I may not be romantic, nigga, but the only bill you paid is what? Tell the truth. A Celica phone. You only pay your cell phone bill. You don't pay no bills because that's Capricorn on the 7th house. That's like, okay, let me be as responsible as I can, right? And so what you have to do is you have to, again, you can just look at it in totality. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's right. That's romantic. Thank you. That is my romance right there. You know what I'm saying? That's my romance in a sense. All right. And so yeah, so answer your question, Chris. Yes, it is your book, man. You can get that book. That's on my website, man. myastrologycoach.com. Go to the shop tab, hit the books. It's right there, man. What I'm starting to do too is when people order it, I email it to them. But I physically, this is actually like I physically send this to you though. And maybe one day my autograph would be worth something here, you know. I'm like years ahead of my time here. So I do sign off on it for you and whatnot, man. And you know, it's just a token of appreciation. And you get the book, man, and you work on yourself with it. Or what happens too is I got a mentorship in astrology. I don't advertise it much, but I let people find what they find. If you go on my website, everything is there and whatnot. And the serious will find what they want to find. And when they're ready, you know, they step up to the plate and it's all good, man. So with that said, anything else? We good? I have Moon Square Saturn, and my relationship with my husband is forcing me to be more open with my emotions. So hard, but bam, right. Moon Square Saturn and relationship could suck. But again, it's about okay, let me work on that. You know what I mean? Let me work on that. All right. So you know, my partner, man, he got a webinar, the Prime Minister. Today is the last day. He got this webinar coming up, dope webinar on the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. And it's called Less Stress, More Quantum. That's the Imagination Guru, theimaginationguru.com. And today is the last day for the early bird special. So I think it's like at maybe $47 right now, 45, $47 right up in there. And then tomorrow it shoots up to 75. All right. So you know what we do, man. Myself, the Prime Minister, get busy, and the whole thing is going to show you a plethora of information dealing with how stress contracts. Stress contracts, man. Okay. Happiness expands. Stress contracts. So the webinar is called Less Stress, More Quantum. The more that you can imagine, the more that you can go for, okay, the more you're going to actually attract and become. It's just real simple. This shit is not hard. All right. So you want to get into that webinar. That is going to be, let me make sure that's the 5th. I'm quite sure that is the 5th, right? Bam, Sunday, August the 5th. I think he's going up at 1 p.m. Eastern. And today is the last day. So you want to get on the early bird special, theimaginationguru.com, shop tab, webinars. All right. And I got something coming up it's on the front page of My Astrology Coach in August. I'm gonna go crazy on this. I'm just gonna throw some classic stuff out. It's called Programming the Matrix, Quantum Numbers Exposed. So y'all keep seeing 11 and 22 and these numbers that y'all keep on seeing. You gotta grow past just seeing the number. That's doing absolutely nothing for you besides serving as a confirmation that you are aware. Like, okay, how many times you gonna see it before that shit? Like, that's stupid. Like, just to see it and like, oh, okay, whoop de doo. It's boring. And your defense with the number. How can you take the number and be what do they do on radio and TV? They program numbers. Got a channel. Channel 11 has this news. Channel 12 has this news. Numbers are meant to represent you, not for you to be stuck playing defense. It's just a mirror of where you're at. So all of them are the same to me. I don't care what the sequence is. They're all the same. Oh, you're aware that you constantly see this number. But why? That's the question. Why? I'm going to show you in this webinar, Programming the Matrix, that maybe you need to take the number and then you need to meditate at 11:11. You need to do something for 11 minutes or 11 seconds. Or maybe you need to come out and put your album out on 11:11. You need to start playing offense with the number. And when you start doing that, you will get some pretty cool correspondences. What I'm going to show you in this webinar is really the second universal law, which is the law of correspondence. When you go Google the 7 laws or 7 hermetic laws, as they like to call them, The first one is mentalism. Everything exists on the plane of mentalism. The second one is correspondence. And everything after that is just a variation of the law of correspondence, whether it be cause and effect, whether it be rhythm, whether it be polarity, whether it be gender. You see what I'm saying? All of them is tick tock, male, female. Tick tock, swing to the left, swing to the right, crisscross, 2 hops this time. It's the same thing. The law of correspondence is just saying, can you find the corresponding event from your thought? We do it all the time. I got to be at work at 9 o'clock. Bam, and you at work at 9 o'clock. You do it. You know how to do it. What's happening is we don't know how to spot it when it appears in external things. So when it's you not going to work, but yet this is this event that's taking place, then you don't see it. But the only thing you got to do is test this thing. Like, test it. Start thinking about your favorite car or favorite number and see if that thing will pop up in your reality somehow. Whether it be an ad or whether it be walking down the street and you see it, whatever. Start seeing the number, seeing the car, whatever it is. Start testing the field to see if God is going to respond to you. That's the homework, because it will happen. All right. Sign out because I got to get downstairs and get on this real estate stuff. If you got a question, comment, get at me. You need a session with me, I'm back. I guess I'm doing sessions again. It's on the website, myastrologycoach.com. Consultation tab is there. The self-activation workbook is there. Like I said, get over to the Imagination Guru, Minister Jew's last day of his early bird special expires today. All right, so get over there and sign up for that particular webinar and check out this video that I just did on the channel, uploaded, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh, and if your money game, and talk about your money game because money is very important. Visit the prosperityinvestmentgroup.com. The prosperityinvestmentgroup.com. Click on the shop tab. Don't just highlight it where it say cart and total. You got to click on it. Click on the shop tab. If you're an entrepreneur, you're on your business game, go over there. All right, because this is where we do our real estate stuff at. This is where I'm giving you some phenomenal information to help you do your thing. All right, it's a lot of success out here, man. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Resubscribe, man, and check it out. So again, that's the Prosperity Investment Group. Literally click on the shop tab. Just don't highlight it. Click on it. Subscribe to this channel. Share with a friend. And when I'm talking about celebrities on videos, do me a favor, copy and paste the link and go tag them in it to let them know that they need to check it out. All right. Peace. Oh, Drea put me on blast. Okay.